Let's get right to it. This is a magnificent display. We have a 6.3-inch Full HD AMOLED display, and the colors are nice and vibrant. It feels just like any other Samsung display. And we get that bezel-less design, which makes viewing things on this phone a huge delight. So display has held up nicely. Doesn't get boring at all. And the performance is great. I mean, we have MediaTek's best chip. The best chip they ever made is in this phone, the Helio G92. So that means performance is nice and snappy. It honestly feels like any other flagship. And to prove this is a fast phone, I'm going to compare it to my Note 20 Ultra. Snapdragon version, by the way, if that matters to anyone. Alright, Play Store 3, 2, 1. Clock 3, 2, 1. eBay 3, 2, 1. AliExpress 3, 2, 1. KnifeIt 3, 2, 1. So as you can see, it's a very fast phone. The battery has also held up great. I've used this phone for full days, heavy usage, no games or heavy tasks, just browsing, Discord, WhatsApp, other battery draining apps. I would always end the day with around 40-45% left, which is great. Now the speaker isn't so great. I mean, it's fine. I can live with it. But going from the Note 20 Ultra, which has dual Dolby Atmos speakers, to this, it's just really not that good. But I'm gonna show you what I mean. So the speaker is okay. I know this is just a Umidigi phone, so don't say in the comments like, oh, what do you expect? Keep in mind that Xiaomi has a phone, the Poco X3, which has dual speakers and costs less than this phone. Not really an excuse here. I guess Umidigi wanted to focus on other things, such as the pop-up camera, which, by the way, let's take a peek at this. No, it's still a cool gimmick. It's not as cool as the pop-ups we've seen on the OnePlus 7 Pro and other phones after, like Zenfone 7 Pro, But it works and it's cool to have. So for me, a smartphone has to have a great display, great battery life, a great build, this has middle-in glass, so this is a nice build. And design can't be ugly. As you can see, you have a nice sleek design that's not ugly at all. Great audio, great camera. The phone does all of these things perfectly except for the speaker. But if you're buying a phone this cheap from a brand like Umidigi, you're bound to make some sacrifices, right? Speaking of which, the camera is great. I love it. Normally when you're buying a phone like this, you're sacrificing the camera, but not this time. Umidigi, I mean, of course it's not as good as the flagship phone, but honestly, it's pretty much comparable. I'm going to show you a picture that I took of the Note 20 Ultra and S5 Pro. Let's see who guess which is which. The only sacrifice you're really making with this phone is updates. You're not going to get much updates. As you can see, wireless update. No updates. This is still version 1.1, as you can see. I do wish to see security patches from time to time, When you're buying a phone like this, you should know you're not going to get much updates. But at least we have Android 10. It's still pretty relevant. And if you're buying a budget phone, you shouldn't really care about which Android version you have. As far as you're concerned, you could still go with Android 8 and it'll still feel fine, So should you still get this phone? I mean, yeah, absolutely. And, until they release the Umidigi S6 Pro, which by then, I hope to see them use a high refresh rate display like 90 Hz or 120 Hz. I mean, sure, you could get a Xiaomi that does get updated and it does a few things better than this phone. But me personally, I don't like MIUI. This is more of a stock Android experience, even though it's not completely stock Android. Yeah, MIUI has more features, but who needs those features, This phone is for a certain type of person, someone who wants something unique. Even though I've had a lot of people come to me and tell me they bought this phone for their parents, for their family, they all said it was a great phone, because it's true. This phone is good for everyone, basically. But if you want, a more reliable brand, there's always Xiaomi. I personally like this more than the Poco X3. Alright, so if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Peace. Buy this phone.